welcome back. With us now is Roy Moy III, an aerospace engineer and founder, CEO of STEMusic. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me. It's great to be on today.
Good. Okay, so look, you've combined being an aerospace engineer and an accomplished singer and performer into STEMusic. So tell us what it is. What's it all about?
Sure thing. Well, first of all, so STEM is an acronym for science, technology, engineering, and math. And so I wanted to figure out how I could help just introduce more students, and more specifically students of color, to STEM. And so as an aerospace engineer, but also an independent gospel artist, I said, how could I combine these two things together? So STEMusic is a company that was created with a mission to inspire the next generation of multicultural STEM professionals through engaging and inspiring, entertaining music. So we have a lot of fun over here, and this all started back when I was in college trying to study for a test. I was really trying to figure out, okay, how could I memorize all this information? I remixed a TLC song by the name of Creep, and I ended up getting an A on my test. It worked. That's where the idea was born. Fast forward to 2019. I officially started the company and was touring elementary schools prior to the pandemic, really trying to make sure that students of color, I happen to be Black, Puerto Rican, and Mexican, and in my industry, the STEM industry, there's just not enough diversity. So I wanted to do something to help introduce more of that diversity and introduce STEM to these diverse students that I love so much. And that is how STEMusic came to be.
Oh, my goodness. The kiddos are going to be in for a real treat when you do your brain break at the XSTEM All Access on Friday. You know, touching on those gospel roots, combining it with popular music. I mean, it just makes sense because any kid can remember the words, lyrics to a song, and then you can remember maybe your aerospace engineering work, right?
Exactly. Science shows and just the way that we've all grown up, right? Our ABCs, our numbers, books of the Bible, whatever it is that we've tried to remember, we've used music to do it. Schoolhouse Rock is another program that has done that in the past. And so I just saw the power in it. I was trying to teach some students I volunteer with here in town in Wichita, Kansas, about solving for X in algebra. And I remixed Watch Me Solve the equation, this song, which was Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nay Nay. I remixed that to Watch Me Solve the equation, and it worked. It got them hyped and excited, kind of took away some of the fear that sometimes comes along and is attached to STEM. And I think it's just such a powerful tool to not only help you memorize, but make you have a great feeling associated with science, technology, engineering, and math. And I love it. I'm having the time of my life.
And you feel more like you belong. I love that. And I love the diversity that this outreach offers here. How are we doing with being able to reel in people of color, more children, more girls who look like you and me?
Yes, that is a great question. And what I will say up front is progress is being made. Great organizations like the National Society of Black Engineers that I'm heavily involved in, Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers, Society of Women Engineers are doing great, incredible work. However, according to Pew Research Center, we're still, Black professionals making up only 9%, Latino professionals only making up about 7% of the STEM industry. And that's just not enough for right now, and we need to grow. And so the good news is progress is being made, but there's still so much work to do. And so that's what I love about STEMusic, the fact that I'm an aerospace engineer who's Black and Latino and gets to be in front of these students, not only with a singing voice, but also someone who went through and earned a bachelor's degree in engineering and is able to say, hey, if this is something you want to do, this is what it can look like for you. And I understand that not every student who attends XSTEM USA Science Engineering Festival and who experiences STEMusic might go into STEM, but the fact that they can just know about it, I think is so important. And I'm excited to be doing the work.
Take me back to your childhood before you got to college and you figured out what clicked in your brain with the music, the combination of music and the study. Before we get you to sing, before we get you to perform, what was it that did it for you, or what do we need now in the classrooms? Because resources are still tight in those underserved communities.
Yes, as a young kid, I just fascination with airplanes. Love airplanes still to this day. And for me, fortunately, grew up with both of my parents, my mom being Latina, my dad being black, and they did everything they could to just make sure I got the exposure to STEM. They were not in the STEM field per se, but they made sure I had the exposure, and then mentors, people volunteering in the community. I know once I got to Wichita and started school in college, I met the first black aerospace engineer that I had ever known, and that made such a huge difference. So I think the mentorship portion of it is important. And then in regards to resources, just try to make sure that people are aware that we have to, we need these resources to make sure that students can be introduced and get into STEM.
Okay, Roy, you've got to perform for us. We want to hear it right now. Let's start.
Sure thing. This is going to be featured in Brain Break Deep Sea Dive. So check it out. Here we go. Deep sea dive, deep sea dive. Gonna see a marine life. Deep sea dive, deep sea dive. See how many animals we can find on a deep sea dive. A deep sea dive. Gonna see them all, and it's gonna be nice on a deep sea dive. A deep sea dive. Deep sea dive. Gonna take a look at the marine life. Deep. And it's gonna be nice on a deep sea dive. A deep sea dive.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Roy. You're going to see him on Friday. Thanks to all of our guests today. We are glad you were with us today. I'm Alette Green. Have a great day.